Well, I want to delve a little bit into your own personal journey from starting off at Unilever after FMS and where you find yourself today. You know, your experience of the first 2 months of operating out of a village, of getting to know the market, of understanding that India is not one monolithic market, but, you know, an agglomeration of many, many different markets. What have been some of the big learnings? What have been some of the myths, that the preconceived ideas and notions that you had walked into this job with that today stand, abandoned?
You mean when I've started or now?
Over the course of the journey.
I think if I have to, because I went through, when I left in India in 2004, I went after that to many countries in different roles, from Vietnam to Thailand to Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, and China, and then I came back here. In every place, I think what made my approach to the market different from the rest was that I was very comfortable in the shops and stores and understanding consumers firsthand, because that's how we were trained. My first day in the company, we were launching the Wheel detergent powder, which is a massive brand now. It was 8 rupees a kilo those days. Zada Shakti, Zada Jhag was a proposition. And Lemon, which is still around. And I was cleaning shelves. So I knew what a merchandiser does, and so on and so forth. So I think what has really held me in good stead is the groundedness, the ability to then keep a good balance in operator, as an operator and a strategist. And you find that people have two bias, either a strategic bias or an operational bias. I think what's unique about us as HUL is, most people, is that we end up creating a product, a talent product, that has got a very good sweet spot of operations and strategy, of humility and boldness. It's that thing that comes from the way people careers are done here. And that is something that really helps, and agility, knowing that, every state is different. When you go to one country or the other country, or you realize that you're very adaptable and agile, and you adjust quickly, that things are different or must not carry the same rules in every new job. And I think that agility and resilience comes from the fact that we've sent people to different functions, to different regions, and we've really created a product or talent that is highly resilient and adaptive.
Let's talk about the many different brands that you've had the opportunity to work on, here in India and across your many other portfolios and your many other stints at Unilever. Rohit, brands are essentially products with stories. Take me through some of the most memorable stories that you've been able to tell through your brands. What has connected with you the most at a deep level? Which are the ones that have surprised you perhaps the most?
Well, I used to be a brand manager for Surf Excel in 1995. And in fact, I launched Surf Excel brand. It was called Surf Ultra or something else before. So it's been my first love. And Tan or Srinandan Sundaram, our home care head, is right there. When he's building it, it's more than $1 billion now in scale and going beyond 10,000 crores. So he knows I have some degree of possessiveness about this brand. But it really is a story where Surf, if you look at the Surf brand, when we all joined, we used to read marketing case studies of Lalita ji, and and how she taught value to the smart choice consumer. And the brand was a sprayed right product, which still is. And from then it moved on to Daag Dhoondte Reh Jaoge, to Daag Achhe Hain, and now onwards to where it's today, which basically it stands for liberation from all forms of stains and allows children to get dirty and also do something good. I think the brand stayed true to its who it is. It's a affiliative brand, and it's a brand that has surprised me when I come back with the level of scale. I mean, I didn't expect the Surf Excel I knew 20 years ago or even 10 years ago to now be more than $1 billion. I mean, it's because I think what we've been able to do, and people before me have been able to make this Surf Excel a premium product, available at a 10 rupee price point, a sachet for their use, and that is now taken. So our single largest selling SKU is that Surf Excel sachet powder, and now we're doing the same thing with liquid as people buy more machines.
Yeah.
And they start to use liquids, and then we're going to do the same thing with capsules, which are already in the market today, and whatever next format that comes in the world to get your clothes sparklingly clean, but also do it in a way in which you feel good and your family feels good. So I think it's a great story of a brand that's stayed true to its who it is, and also evolved continuously ahead of its times, and basically been there to serve this consumer. And at $1 billion plus for one country, not many brands in the world can talk that.
No,
with that
they
pride,
certainly can't, and that does deserve a round of applause. So kudos to you and your team for building Surf Excel into $1 billion brand. But since we're talking about Surf Excel, let me end by asking you how you've managed to find the balance between work and life, or life and work, whichever way you'd like to prioritize it at different points. You know, how have you dealt with that, and what is the advice that you would leave them with?
At the young age, and I'm talking to my kid, my daughter's 24, my son's 29, that, you know, please work very hard, you know, go for it, because this is the time
70 hours or 90 hours?
No, that doesn't matter. It's really about, you know, this is the time to learn, have a growth mindset, most importantly, always be open to new things, because, I mean, you guys are full of potential. You don't have any rules, your minds are open. You must always be continuously, not be fixed-minded.
Yeah.
For me, that's been a big learning in my last 3 decades of career, is that it's over a period of time become growth-minded, that, okay, I must learn, because I don't know with this country called Vietnam and what happens. I don't even understand language and so on and so forth. So being really growth-minded is really important. And do your best. And so far as you know, whatever you're given is concerned, think like an owner. What would a founder do? If you're a founder of your own brand, what would that person do?
Yeah.
And do what that person will do. And there's, of course, got to be balance. In fact, unless we create balance, so we have moments of calm and rest, of reflection, we'd always be on like a hamster on a wheel. So great people, great things don't get done. If you're only busy, you got to be actually doing something purposeful, create the right moments of balance, refreshment, re-energize, and then get back to basically producing. So high productivity is not just about being business, but having basically a very purposeful action rather than mindless action.
So be growth-oriented, be a learner, constant learner, a lifelong learner. Also have the ability to listen and take feedback and turn that into purposeful action. And at the end of the day, also have some fun while you're at it. Rohit Java, many, many thanks for joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Rohit Java and for sharing his story at HUL with us, and more importantly, for giving us a glimpse into what the road ahead for the conglomerate looks like. Appreciate your time. Thanks very much indeed.